Good evening everyone. Hope you all are fine, and today we will do a chapter in English literature of class 5, Mr. Nobody. So let's start. I know a funny little man, as quiet as a mouse, who does the mischief that is done in everybody's house. There's no one ever sees his face, and yet we all agree that every plate we break was cracked by Mr. Nobody. So, there's a person, Mr. Nobody, who is very funny and a little man. So, he is a very funny and a little man. As quiet as a mouse. As quiet as a mouse is very quiet, as we all know. So, this person is so quiet that he is referred as a mouse. So, we can just see here. Who does the mischief that is done in everybody's house. So, he does the mischief in everybody's house, not like his house, her house, not a particular house, in everybody's house. There's no one ever sees his face, and yet we all agree. So, there is no one who has ever seen his face. And everyone agrees that, yeah, we have not. That every plate we break was cracked by Mr. Nobody. So, every plate you can see was cracked by Mr. Nobody. This means it is. He who always tears out books, who leaves the door ajar. Ajar means open partially. You can see the picture, not open fully, but little bit. He pulls the buttons from a shirt and scatters spin afar. So he pulls the buttons from the shirt and scatters spin afar. You can see in the picture. The squeaking door will always squeak. So it is a thin sound created when we open a door. For Preeti, don't you see? So Preeti means please. Please don't you see? We leave the oiling to be done by Mr. Nobody. So when your door is rusted, we oil the door so that it does not make the squeaking sound. So that is only the thing. So the we means the writer and his family. This poem is enormous. So they leave the oiling to be done by Mr. Nobody. He puts damp wood upon the fire, the kettles cannot boil. His are the feet that bring in mud and all the carpet soil. The papers are always mislaid. Who had them last but he? There's no one tosses them about but Mr. Nobody. So this Mr. Nobody, he puts damp wood. Damp means wet. It is written here. Upon the fire that kettles cannot boil. In Hindi we call kettles that from which we give chai, no? That bada sa tokri like this. This is called a kettle. That kettles cannot boil. His are the feet that bring in mud and all the carpet soil. So he brings his muddy feet inside and all the carpet soil. Our mother also scolds us when we play outside in the muddy ground, and when we enter our house, our mother scolds us. She beats us, so that's the thing. But they have not seen Mr. Nobody, so they cannot do that. The papers are always mislaid. Who had them last but he? So the papers they are not arranged. They are always disarranged. So one paper is lying there, one paper is lying there. Who had them last but he? So no one touched them. No one touched them for last, but he only touched. There's no one tosses them about but Mr. Nobody. So there is no one who does this work but Mr. Nobody. The finger marks upon the doors, you can see the finger marks. By none of us are made. We leave the blinds unclosed to let the curtain fade. The ink we never spill, the boots lying round, you see, are not our boots. They all belong to Mr. Nobody. So the finger marks upon the door you can see here. By none of us are made. So no one makes these finger marks. We never leave the blind unclosed to let the curtains fade. The ink we never spill. The boots lying round, you see. So the ink they never spill. So the ink is always spilled, but they never spill. No one spills it, but Mr. Nobody does that. The boots lying around, you see, so you can see all these shoes and all. Boots refers to shoes. Lying around, you see, are not our boots. So they are not their boots. The family, their means or our means the family, the poet's family. They all belong to Mr. Nobody. So these all shoes and fingerprints and all the things that are done in the house that are all are done by Mr. Nobody. Thank you for watching. I will also bring the question answer part of this story. So, boom, actually, sorry.